Welcome back to our Saints 2025 Draft Preview Show alongside John Hendrix. Erin Summers here. Thanks so much for joining us right here on the Gulf Coast Sports and Entertainment Network. Looking at the Saints' first round pick, number 9. We've talked about potential positions they may target. Give me some names. Who do you like?
Yeah, look, I think for starters, I'd say Tyler Warren for Penn State, the tight end. He's one of those guys where I think he's him. He reminds me a lot of Jeremy Shockey, Jimmy Graham, kind of that mold. I like Teddy-Ora McMillan from Arizona. I think he's somebody that you look at. He's somebody, that big-bodied guy that you look at this offense could use, him and Tyler Warren. If you look at offensive line, I really like Kelvin Banks Jr. from Texas. He's got a lot of mold to where you could probably put him inside. Will Campbell from LSU, another guy that you probably figure out at left guard. That's kind of up for grabs right now, and so I like him as well. And then a couple other wild cards. Jahdae Barron, guy, defensive back from Texas. A lot of familiarity there in the building with Terry Joseph being there. So I think that's kind of a sleeper pick for me. I think he's going to be really exceptional on the back end.
There's been a lot of rumblings about the quarterback position, potentially taking Shedeur Sanders. He is the odds-on betting favorite to go 9 to the Saints. Looks like Jackson Dart is someone that the Saints are high on as well.
Yeah, look, they're doing their homework, right? And that's kind of been the thing, is they've done their homework a lot on these prospects. So I think when you look at it, Shedeur Sanders, very talented, super talented. I think he's a great game manager. I think he's somebody that comes in. I mean, he's very exciting as a prospect. But I think the same could be said about Jackson Dart. And you look at their career trajectory right now, I think Dart has a little bit more upside right now. I think Shedeur is kind of not necessarily peak, but he's kind of at the top level right now. And so I think with Jackson Dart, look, he's a super interesting prospect. I think the Saints, looking at the quarterback situation, regardless of what is going on right now, the quarterback is the most important position that they can have. Kellen Moore, new regime, pick your guy, maybe build around him. That could be a very big possibility for them.
You have to do your due diligence at least. And here is former Saints quarterback Luke McCown on Ole Miss's Jackson Dart.
I think Jackson's really sharp. I do. And his rise since the Senior Bowl, through his combine performance and then through his pro day performance, has been something to watch. I think he has played himself into the first round, potentially at number 9. As much as the aura has been lately around Mickey and Kellen and visiting all these quarterbacks in their pro days, it really seems like that it's quite a possibility. And now, again, I still believe that theirs will be a philosophy of best available. And when it comes to 9, I don't know that at number 9 that they're going to believe that Jackson's the best available on the board. He'll be the best quarterback available, I believe, at that point. Right now, I think it's Cam Ward, Jackson Dart. I think Shedeur's after that. Then I think it's Tyler Shuck, probably somewhere in the second round.
Moving into the second round, the Saints have that pick at 40. And this is where I've seen a lot of mock drafts go cornerback. If it were to be a cornerback, who would you pick?
I like Siobhan Rell Jr. I think he's somebody that, look, he has a couple medical concerns, obviously, with the ACL last year, but he's somebody that I think is a borderline first-round talent. If it weren't for the injuries, I think he's somebody that you look at, can make a huge impact. The Saints do need some cornerbacks. Obviously, they're going to play a lot of nickel in Brandon Staley's defense. You have to have defensive backs to do that. I know we have to figure out what's going to happen with Alontae Taylor, if he can go into that star role or such, but look, he's somebody I really think is paired well to this team.
Staley does like versatility in his backs. That's something that he has emphasized a lot on. And Saints legend Roman Harper talked about Ole Miss's corner Trey Amos as somebody that he was really big on.
And this guy may be my favorite as far as like just the tape. And that is Trey Amos, cornerback out of Ole Miss. Former Alabama player, transferred to Ole Miss this past year. Probably the best press man-to-man coverage corner in this draft. I love his tape. I love his ability. He's a guy that nobody's really talking about. The one concern going into the draft process that everybody wanted to know was, could he actually run? He ran a 4.43 at the combine. I think he solidified himself. He's over 6 feet. He has great size. He has great tape. He's a player that if you find him laying around in the second round, and I know that the Saints may not need a whole bunch of more corners. I know they lost Lattimore, but they always draft in the first, second round. That's where they normally find their corners and DBs. He's a name that I would be extremely excited about because of the production and the tape that he put on tape the last the last couple years.
Moving into round 3 for the Saints, they have 2 picks, 71 and 90. Who do you like here, maybe positions that you're going after?
Yeah, I think if you don't go offensive line early, I think interior offensive line is somebody that you can look at. Tate Ratledge from Georgia would be one of the picks. I really like Charles Grant from William and Mary. I think he's somebody of an underrated prospect. And, Saints do like their small school guys as well. And so if you're looking at both of those picks, Jack Beck, TCU wide receiver, that's another one that I'd look at. If you look at the trenches on the defensive side, TJ Sanders from South Carolina would be somebody, or a Deion Walker from Kentucky. I think there's a lot of ways the Saints can go here, but what you're looking for is ultimately somebody that can come in, be a role player, and I'll give you a wild card, maybe a Dylan Sampson from Tennessee. They've had some good luck at Tennessee, running back on the roster right there. So he's somebody that I feel like could come in and, provide a little bit of boost for an underrated need for this team.
Well, at 71, if you're still looking for a tight end, possibly go with Miami's Elijah Arroyo. He is somebody that is a vertical weapon, can work on his blocking a little bit, route running, and then down to maybe 90, safety Kevin Winston Jr. from Penn State. Again, if you're looking to build out a little bit of that secondary, or wide receiver Trey Harris. He's actually somebody, he went to Louisiana Tech, transferred to Ole Miss, so he's familiar with Louisiana and might enjoy being back here.
Yeah, that reminds me of what Bub Means was like. I mean, you remember he just loved being back here. But yeah, I'm with you. Trey Harris is a very interesting prospect. I think he's somebody that obviously you look at where he's at and just kind of his performance on the field speaks for himself, right? And Elijah Arroyo is another one that you look at his play. Maybe a couple medical concerns there, but teams are going to do their due diligence. I think he has a lot of upside for his game, and I think he's somebody that is, whatever team picks him is going to be very happy, assuming the medicals do check out.
When you move into day 3, because day 2 is your second and third rounds, day 3 is 4 through 7, how does your mentality shift as far as what you're looking for?
Yeah, I think really what you're looking for is can you find some diamonds in the rough, and can you find some core special teamers? You're looking at developmental prospects. You're looking at a lot of different needs filling out, whether it's depth on, like, linebacker is a good area for this team. Offensive line is another area, defensive backs, as we've kind of talked about already, but you're really just trying to find out if you can find some of those diamond in the roughs. I mean, you think of last year, that's where they got Spencer Rattler, Bub Means, Christian Boyd in the 6th round. So there are some day 3 guys that you can get that really can have some upside start for you eventually or play roles in your team, but primarily special teams, diamond in the roughs, developmental prospects.
Okay, stick with us, because on the other side, I'm going to make John Hendrix give us some names of some of those players to look out for on day 3.